Basketball Championship press conference. We have with us head coach for South Dakota State, Aaron Johnston, players, Kristin, Rotert, and Macie, Michelson. Again, make sure your cell phones are turned off. The format will start with an opening statement by Coach Johnston, followed by questions to the players, and then we'll do follow-up questions with Coach Johnston. Please introduce yourself and the media organization that you represent. Thank you. Coach Johnston, go ahead.
Well, that was a very exciting game. Oakland deserves a lot of credit for the game they played today, the games they played the last 2 days. We've had just an extremely high level of respect for their women's basketball program that we interact with. And Becky does a great job. Her team plays exceptionally hard all the time. Today, I thought there were times we made runs where we could have blown the game open, but they came back. They made big shots, big plays all the time. And that's why they're successful and going to be successful every year. So it was a good win against a really good team. And for our players, just really proud of how we played. Not only today, but again, this last probably 6-7 weeks have been just a real good experience, I think, for all of us as players and coaches. It's been an emotional year, and it's had its share of some good and maybe not so good, but I just can't tell you how proud I am of all these players. As proud as this group of any team you've ever had before for what they've gone through and where they're at here today. Kristin and Macie, who are next to me, and just great competitors. Meant an awful lot to our program for a long time. Jennifer, the other senior, all three of them just been through a lot. And it's nice to see those three be able to get this win and feel like they're continuing to move our program forward. That means a lot to them too.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go ahead and open questions to our players.
Kristin, Stewart with the Argus leader, obviously showed some senior leadership the last 2 rounds, and is that a conscious effort on your part, or is that just sort of your natural role on this team? I mean, it does seem like you lifted them up when they really needed you.
I just want to start off, and I really do want to thank God for the opportunity I've had to be here at South Dakota State. And how much of a blessing it's been to be a part of this organization. And I really want my career to run as long as it possibly can. And I knew every game could potentially be my last, and every second that I'm on the floor, I want to do whatever I possibly can to help our program win and to keep my career going and keep playing with these wonderful teammates that I have.
Macie, Terry Vanderbeck, the Argus leader. 10 turnovers tonight, season low. You did, I think, 38 one game earlier in the year, so far you've come. Talk about just how that's evolved and how you guys get from, again, 38 down to 10.
Team stats, right?
Yeah, not personally. No. But just to improve, carry the ball.
Yeah, that was one of our focuses throughout the whole year, is taking care of the ball. We started out turning the ball over way too much, and we made a conscious effort to take care of the ball on offense, and that's what we did tonight. Is we took care of the ball. We took good shots. We didn't force anything that didn't need to be forced, and we just took care of the ball.
Kristin, Jim, I listened to Kelly TV 3 times in 3 years. It's just starting the same game, but what's it mean to be a part of this?
It's been amazing, and I look at this season and excuse me, not to take anything away from what we've done the past years, but this one right here means the most. I think we can all agree with that. To fight through the adversity that our team's had this year and the struggles and people, questioning whether we'll be able to step up and do it, and everybody on the outside doubting us, but together, this team, we made it happen. We came together, players and coaching staff, and we just started competing, and it's been a slow process, but we've turned it around, and I'm just so proud to be sitting here right today, or sitting here today, with these 2 people next to me, and Sun League champions for the 3rd time in a row.
Macie, it's tough to pinpoint these things sometimes, but was there a time or a point where you felt like you had to turn the corner and that the old confidence was back, and you felt like, okay, we're going to make a run at the championship again?
I think the second half of the Summit League was our turning point. We decided to come together and play as a team, and that's when it all turned around. We started playing better as a team. We started taking care of the ball. Started just playing better defensively and offensively. We just started playing consistently as a team.
Kristin, there was really only the one run, the 8-0 run. Talk about just the way that neither team flinched. It was different than the other 2 championship games in that way.
Yeah, give a lot of credit to Oakland. They're a very tough team, and they compete so hard. And they're a hard team to, have a run and go on a run against them because they always get an offensive rebound for a putback or, get a steal, and they get a lot of stops defensively too. So it was just a battle both ways.
Go ahead with a couple more questions.
Going ahead, Kristin, to obviously the next step, the NCAA tournament. Is this a team that's on enough of a roll now where you guys feel like you can win some games at that level?
That's our goal, no matter where we're at. If it's a Summer League tournament, the NCAA's, whatever the situation is. So I like where we're playing right now. We're confident. We're playing well together, and I know wherever we end up in the NCAA tournament is going to be a tough challenge, but we're going to embrace it and play the best that we can.
I guess that's it. Kristin, Macie, you're free to go. Congratulations and good luck. Let's go ahead and get a follow-up question with Coach Johnston.
AJ, it looked like the plan from the start was go inside. Talk about what you saw there, or why you started at that point.
Well, we're a better team when we get the ball inside, I think, always. We're not a team that spreads you out and just penetrates all over the floor. We need the ball to go inside. That's kind of like our penetration. And Katie and Jenny did a great job of finishing. And Jenny, I thought, was really special in this game as a player. I really thought she rose to the occasion. She had 13 points, 9 assists. I just think a lot of offense went through Jenny today. And when we go inside, that opens things up. And Jill had some good looks that she didn't hit. Kristin got some shots because of it. It just forces the defense to think about how they want to defend that. So we've tried to go inside against a lot of teams. It's been big for us here down the stretch. It's really slowed us down offensively too. I think it's made us more deliberate and helped us take better care of the ball. We've got more out of our possessions.
Coach, look at them today. We talked about Kristin, how she played really well for being the MVP.
Yeah, I do think she, rose her level of play as the season went on. It's always very difficult, I think, to be seniors. I don't think people always understand how hard that is. I think they automatically assume that when you become a senior, things get easy. And really, it's a lot of pressure, especially if you play on good teams and you have high expectations for those teams. When things don't go well, that a lot of times falls back on the seniors. And Kristin, Jennifer, and Macie, all three of them, really, from about mid-February, early February on, just got a whole different mentality about it. And Kristin carried that over into this tournament. She had some big threes yesterday to get us going against Fort Wayne. Had some big shots, I thought, today. She defended, I thought, pretty well. So, yeah, we need our seniors to be good. And when they were good, we were a lot better.
You said before the tournament that experience played a big factor. Do you have any examples there, specific examples where the seniors did that?
Well, Jennifer in particular made 2 big plays. The obvious big play for Jennifer is that 3 she had in the corner. The second obvious big play for me as a coach is when Oakland came out and jumped into a zone. We ran a zone set, and Jennifer's maybe run through that set, I don't know, a few times as a perimeter player, not very many, and she executed really well. She didn't make the shot, but she got us going in that particular set and got us the matchups that we wanted. And so that's an example of what you need from your seniors. Jennifer gets thrown into a lot of situations. She never knows what's coming, and she rose to the occasion. Macie really controlled the game. I know she's not going on the alternate team or anything like that, and I think that's appropriate. But for internal, she's certainly one of our MVPs for what she does for our team. So yeah, they just did great all the way around.
Excuse me, AJ, do you think you grew as a coach this year? I mean, we talked about players getting better during the year. Do you think you became a better coach this year with the way you had to kind of go through it?
I just think every year you do. You'd be really foolish to think that this is the only year that I could get better as a coach or better as a person. Got a lot of things happen, I think, on the court this year. A lot of things happen away from basketball this year that I'm sure affect and change a person. And hopefully make you a better person, better coach. And I guess I'd like to think that, but I'd also like to think that happens every year.
Jim, go ahead. They did do also the KSFY. In that second half, you guys came up with some pretty big rebounds, especially on the offensive end. Do you see that kind of grittiness as maybe one of the prime factors down the stretch of this game?
Yeah, I think down the stretch and down the stretch of the season. That's the kind of toughness that maybe we didn't have all the time throughout the year. The talent, I think, was certainly there, but we didn't have that kind of grittiness enough throughout the year to get a big rebound or get a stop. Oakland only shot 40% from the field. And they started off, I can't remember exactly what they shot, over 60% by the first 8 minutes of the game. And so as the game went on, our defense got better and better and better. They hit some big threes late to keep themselves where they were. So I thought we rebounded really tough when we needed to. We got a lot of big defensive stops and came from just a lot of toughness.
Coach, you guys were 1-8 in one stretch. In your mind, was this goal still attainable at that point?
Yeah, because this goal was about 3 games in March. It really didn't have anything to do with those games. A lot's been written about how the team didn't play well, and we didn't. And I've been the first one to lead the bandwagon on we're not playing very well. We did have a lot of injuries and all those things, but the other part that just doesn't get talked about enough, and I probably need to do a better job of it, is we just play a lot of good teams as well. Our strength of schedule and just our non-conference strength of schedule, if people really look at that, was pretty remarkable. Go back and take a look at where Kansas State's at, Arizona, Iowa, Purdue. We just keep rolling, UNI, Middle Tennessee State, on and on and on. And when you're not playing great and you're banged up, it's hard to win. And we still have a lot of chances to win those games. So had we just kind of pulled out a few more close ones, it'd be a whole different topic of conversation.
But for a while, you guys might actually pull away. Up 10. We kind of thinking it'd be nice not to have deal with this drama down the stretch. We might just put these guys away.
I would have been, really surprised if we would have pulled away from Oakland today. I just think they just play so hard. Very, very good defensively. Even the shots we got were not easy shots after breakdowns from Oakland. We had to have individual players make some big plays. Jenny made some huge plays in this game today. So individual players were making a lot of big plays. So we just never really felt like we were going to pull away. But we did make some good runs, hit some big shots. Crowd got behind us, and we followed some of those up with good stops, and just kind of real small runs, I think, rather than big ones.
Could you speak to the mental focus your team showed this week? Earlier in the year, there'd be lapses, 5-6 minutes at a time, where they were sort of all over the place and it wasn't there. They really had to sort of grind out these 3 games and stay on task. With a couple of very small exceptions, they did that.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're really a different team now than how, if people have watched us real closely for a lot of years, we're playing a lot differently now than we have maybe the last 2 or 3 years. We just don't have the tempo that we used to have on offense and defense. And I think this tempo we're at right now fits this team and fits what we have to go through this year. And it's a tempo where you have to be very efficient. You can't just wing it out there and play really aggressive and hope good things happen. You have to be really efficient. We're going to have more sets, just slow things down a little bit. And if you don't have that focus all the time, you can just lose a lot of ground. So, and that goes back to our juniors and seniors. They're the leaders for that. And they just deserve a heck of a lot of credit for how this year finished up.
We'll take 2 more questions. Go ahead.
Max Jensen, KDLT. Looking forward, you mentioned your non-conference schedule. Going into the tournament, does it matter where you play, who you play? How do you, I know you're just I'm not asking you to look forward, but what do you see going forward?
No, it matters. It matters if you play Connecticut or anybody else. That matters. It doesn't matter. But we can't control it. Our strength of schedule, I think, could have helped us more. We just didn't win enough games. People would look at it and say, well, that was tough. But when they're seeding people in the NCAA tournament, they're still going to look at what success you had against that kind of record. I don't know. Right now, I'd say we're probably, our RPI's gotten a lot better here in the last 3-4 weeks with the wins we've had. We jumped up in some polls almost 40 or 50 spots here in a short period of time. But based on kind of what we did this year and where we're at, I guess it's going to be a 15 or 16 seed. I'd be surprised if it's anything different. We'll have to wait and see for sure.
With the knowledge you're going to be a 15 or 16, is that a doable scenario for you?
It's really going to depend on the matchup. It's a challenge. You start thinking number 1 seed, you're thinking of Baylor, Connecticut, Tennessee, Stanford, and we haven't played those teams other than Baylor, but they all seem pretty good. So yeah, it's a big challenge. You have to come up with some specific schemes based on their personality. You can't just go out and do what your team wants to do. But we'll be ready. There's nothing we can do about that at this point. Our strength of schedule is always going to be as good as we can make it, and it'll be our job to try and do better in the future so you can avoid these kind of matchups that we might get this year.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.